we're gonna talk about your favorite. Guess who?
Patches.
No.
Seath?
No!
Solaire?
Are you kidding me right now? Siegmeyer!
Oh, Siegmeyer, yeah. I thought this was a trick and you were gonna make me talk about some, like, the narrow-minded man from Erdon Chapel. Everyone's favorite NPC, who you have to go through this atrociously complicated quest to get to show up, and then he does nothing.
Kinda just sits there and judges you.
He sits there and insults everyone and doesn't. There's no reason.
Yeah, okay. So Siegmeyer, tell me all about the Onion Knight.
Okay. Siegmeyer is. We just talked about Berserk, and Siegmeyer is patterned after a character from Berserk as well, called Basuzo. And he doesn't look that much like Basuzo, but Basuzo is a character whose armor is very round. And if you look at the Dark Souls art book, there's like a specific note from Miyazaki saying he wants like a character in round armor to be like a Basuzo-like character. The closest to Basuzo is actually what's his name? Horace. Horace looks almost exactly like Basuzo. So the thing about Siegmeyer is that he is a character who is deluded about, I guess, his own abilities. He's sort of a tragic figure, which you have to keep saving him. He believes himself to be a great hero, and he's not incapable, but you have to keep saving him. And he never quite realizes that he's not that competent. He sort of bumbles around.
Oh.
And then after a while, this proves to be his undoing, but not in the way you expect, which is that if you save him enough times, he eventually realizes that he can't do anything without you. And that is what ends up killing him, because he realizes, because what happens in with hollowing is that if you have a goal and you have something that defines you and you cling on to it, then that stops you hollowing. And Siegmeyer believes he is a great heroic knight. So Siegmeyer's story will always end badly, because either he will die or you will save him so many times that when he realizes that he's lost, he realizes that he's not the heroic knight that he thinks he is, and that's what makes him hollow.
That's pretty sad.
So, and that's when he's killed by his daughter Sieglind in Ash Lake. And yeah, he is undead, but his daughter Sieglind is not undead, and she comes to Lordran looking for him, and she wants to pass on a message from Siegmeyer's wife to him. I can't remember. I'll look it up. Hang on. She has a.
So not everyone in the Dark Souls universe is undead?
No. This is the thing. Like, all the undead are sent to Lordran, but not everyone in Lordran is undead. And Sieglind is one of the few characters who's not undead. I think Dusk is also not undead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she says that she's come to pass on her mother and Siegmeyer's wife's last words to Siegmeyer. That's why she's come to Lordran. So, but then when she finally meets Siegmeyer, because you have saved him so many times, he has gone hollow and she has to kill him. So she's never able to pass the message on to him, and that's the end of their story.
That is really, really sad.
Yeah, and like a lot of the characters in Dark Souls, he is very, very jolly and happy. You later realize that's because he is not quite all there.
No.
He is he doesn't quite grasp the gravity of the situation, and he thinks he's a lot a lot more capable than he actually is, even though all the progress is done by you.
Mm-hmm.
There's that bit in you meet him in Anor Londo, and there's a whole lot of Silver Knights, and he's just in the room adjacent to them, saying he's coming up with a plan, and
Oh
he'll
my
never actually
god!
do anything. Yeah,
Yeah, like I saw him there, right? And so we're in front of that room, and I'm like, okay, let's go. We're gonna do this. So I go in there, and obviously the knights kill me, and I'm like, bro, you didn't even help me. He's like, yeah, give me a minute. It's pretty funny. He's just standing there while getting murdered right in front of him.
yeah. The only time he seriously helps you is at the very, very end of his quest. He dives into the bottom of a poisonous pit in Lost Izalith, and you fight these monsters together. And then this is the point at which he usually dies because it's poison.
Oh,
But that's kind of the second last point. And if you save him there, then that's what triggers him to eventually go hollow and die in Ash Lake.
I see.
Yeah.
How would you compare his story to the story of Sigurd?
Sigurd, I don't think works at all. He's like an attempt to recapture it, but it's just a lesser story overall. Sigvard is a lot like stronger and more capable than Siegmeyer is,
Mm-hmm.
and it just becomes a very straightforward story about like having to go and keep a promise to someone. Sigvard's story is that he was friends with Yorm, and then he goes to basically kill Yorm because they had a promise that Sigvard. There's like some sort of agreement between them that Sigvard would kill Yorm one day.
Why?
I don't know. But that's like the entirety of that story is
Mhm.
just like he's got to go kill Yorm, and he does. And like Sigvard, you have to rescue him from a cell at one point. But when you first meet Sigvard, he defeats this huge demon. He can basically solo it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's set up as like kind of the anti-Siegmeyer. He's a much stronger character.
Right.
He's not deluded about his abilities, but then you meet him in the jail cell, and he's captured there. So it's like, is he maybe not that good? I don't know. Like they can't seem to settle on what kind of character he is, and then he just sort of like, yeah, and he makes Siegbrow for you.
I really appreciated that because sometimes you need it.
Yeah, yeah, he's a bit, I don't know. It feels like they wanted to recapture the Siegmeyer story, but they made the character less vulnerable, and because he's less vulnerable, he's less interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right. Awesome. Is there anything else about Siegmeyer?
Not that I can think of. He's like, he's probably my favorite of the NPCs in that.
Who's your favorite NPC and you took like 15 tries to guess who it is that we're talking about today?
Well, I thought this was ironic, and you were going to say your favorite NPC, and it was going to be someone else. It was going to be the crestfallen merchant.
It was going to be Kirby.
I wish it was Kirby.
All right, let's talk about Kirby.
Aldrich is a bit like Kirby.
Oh my god, yeah!
He swallows Gwendolyn, and then he becomes like Gwendolyn Aldrich.
That's true. Truth exposed, never before seen. Okay, cool. Super.